All right, everybody, we are back on the Barbed Wire Wrestling Podcast. A super Raw after WrestleMania. It was eventful, plenty of surprises, new people coming back, and groups being created. How are you, Fredo?
Absolutely, man. Raw after WrestleMania is great because this is when is the new season, like they like to call it. There's no off season for the WWE. It's a new off season. I'm excited for the new stories. I mean, where do you want to start, Pedro?
Well, let's start with what everybody wants to know. Everybody wants to talk about this Paul Heyman. God, I don't even like. I keep thinking about it. The betrayal of Paul Heyman to his best friend, and being the wise man to his original tribal chief, and siding with an unlikely person. What can you give us into this?
Well, as you saw, Pedro, after Saturday main event, that Paul Heyman sided with Seth Rollins, in which he betrayed his best friend. First of all, just to in a way to do it, he gets the chair, gives it to CM Punk, low blows him. Roman Reigns think that he has his wise man back. Then, when he goes face off with Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman again low blows him and he sides with Seth Rollins. So then, going on to Monday night, we knew that Seth Rollins was going to come with Paul Heyman. They were going to celebrate, and as how they started talking, and what an interesting thing when Seth Rollins started saying, "I was the man who took the wise men for Roman Reigns. I was the man who took away CM Punk's best friend." And then right when he started, CM Punk comes in. CM Punk comes in, he's taping up. They got into a fight. And then suddenly, when, he knocks him out, like when, because of Paul Heyman, he knocks him out. You're thinking, okay, Seth Rollins, this is the end. Paul Heyman started talking. And then, shocker, Roman Reigns showed up. Roman Reigns, which we thought that he was going to be out. So it was really refreshing to have him, come back. He showed up, he fought, he had the upper hand at first, and when he was ready to spear Paul Heyman, remember, he took away Seth Rollins and he was ready to spear Paul Heyman. Braun Breaker shows up. And
Yes, it did.
it kind of like as a missile, like Michael Cole was saying, like as a missile, intercepted and took down Roman Reigns. And this brings me happiness because it looks like Braun Breaker, we knew that he was special. They were even earlier in the year of last year when Paul Heyman was saying that Braun Breaker might be the next Paul Heyman guy. So
Mm-hmm.
this came to fruition, and then obviously, then he started beating up Roman Reigns. He speared him through the crowd, and then with between him and Seth Rollins, both they stomped CM Punk, stomped Roman Reigns, and then speared him again, and then they stand tall. So now the question is, Pedro, what's next? And to me personally, I feel that this was excellent. And to me, what it looks like is that they are forming. So not only that Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman are looking to have their own crew, now they added Braun Breaker. So what does this remind you of? What could possibly be?
Well, Fredo, it looks very similar to things we've seen in the past. Of course, Triple H, Paul Levesque is the one that's orchestrating everything behind the scenes. Paul Heyman looks to be the guy that's pulling strings, things that. And it's funny because you mentioned that Braun Breaker may just be the Paul Heyman guy that we saw shades of that in the past. Them talking in the background of and when others are in the main frame of the camera, and them in the background discussing things. How long ago were these plans in place? Should I say? Now,
Yeah, that's the main question. Yeah, how long this
how
was been planned?
yeah, how long has he been planning this? Because in front of everybody, he is. the wise man. He is the best friend of CM Punk. But how long has he really been pulling these strings? And on top of that, it's we know that this is a Triple H production, so he's putting everything together, and this starts to look more and more like maybe like an evolution. His
2.0.
his evolution 2.0. His insurance policy is Braun Breaker.
Yep.
So
He is like the Batista.
he's like the Batista of the group. So
Yep.
we don't know what's like who may just be the next to fall because we are expecting to see in Backlash is going to be CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman in the side. Who else can come into this group? Because there usually isn't a group of two. It's typically three or four.
Yeah. Yeah, and absolutely, Pedro. I think how this will actually break down, and it's so similar to the original Evolution. Paul Heyman is Ric Flair. What was Ric Flair? Ric Flair was the one who was always pulling the strings in the background. Remember, he would
Mhm.
cheat for Triple H. He would distract the ref. Paul Heyman is a perfect guy for that. Triple H is Seth Rollins now. Seth Rollins is the leader, the veteran who's been multiple times champion. He's now the Triple H. Then Evolution had someone like Batista, the young up and coming bruiser. That's Braun Breaker. And then what we are projecting that eventually there will be a fourth member in which there is a set of things. We can later on discuss about who we think might be the next Paul, the fourth member of this Evolution 2.0. But I feel that they could be Austin Theory, could be one option. Um, Drew McIntyre, even though he's a veteran, but
Yeah, yeah.
he's gonna could be Rusev. There's a set of guys that could Finn Balor maybe.
Yeah,
There's
he's
a
on the
set of
outs. Yep.
options, but it looks like, and then how Paul Heyman said it, this is the long road to WrestleMania 42, and I think this is just going to get more and more interesting. I actually am more excited of this than how WrestleMania 41 ended. I love this story, and hopefully we can get more of it.
Definitely, Alfredo. To get a quote from a very special announcer back in the day, business is picking up.
Business pick it up. I have a quick question, Pedro. Looking at this matchup, how do you think Roman Reigns and CM Punk? Remember, they were enemies. They fought recently in a triple threat match. Now they are together against this common enemy, in which is this potential evolution 2.0. How do you
Mhm.
think Roman Reigns and CM Punk can work together?
Well, I don't think they can work together, Alfredo. These are two big personalities. These are two big dogs in this fight. Both of them want to be in control. Both of them want to get their hands on Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman, but it's just they're not going to be able to get out of their own way. Come backlash, they will have to lose this to be able to build to something more. They would have to lose.
Absolutely.
It's quite possible that one of them has to be taken out of action. It's and then that group it goes up against this one individual by themselves.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's going to be a monster with these guys dealing with. I'm so looking forward to it. We probably might have a match, a tag team match, like you were saying, for Backlash. Um, Now let's move on to our other story, major story that we had in Raw, and this was a great Raw. Raw after WrestleMania, after many years, this we had multiple stories. I know you want to touch upon the beginning of Raw, where the championship, John Cena, was basically claiming his title, and then he was insulting the crowd. He was saying a whole bunch of things, and then suddenly in the background, as he was ending, you see that person behind Randy Orton.
Correct.
What was your thought about that early Raw matchup?
Well, it's very funny to me because the way that John Cena came out is the same way he's been coming. He's been coming out very little. no fireworks, nothing big. John Cena on the letterhead and just walking out with his music, barely any lights, anything going on, and he walks down the ring with the championship on backwards, letting everybody know that he does not care about the championship. He doesn't care about the fans. He barely cares about WWE. He's just out here for him and to let everybody know that he is the guy. That he is the guy who put Cody Rhodes down. And
Did you see how the crowd cheered for him?
yeah, of course. Look, man. We have to admit who John Cena is. He is. No matter what he does, what dastardly deed he does, fans are going to cheer for him. You know, there's that subsect of fans that love the bad guy, but even love even more seeing finally after many years John Cena as the bad guy and fulfilling the prophecy that he came out and put that he was going to win. Um, and it's funny. He came out to the ring and he had to tell the announcer, "Hey, I am not happy the way that you announced
Yes,
this.
he
You're gonna
sure
have to
did.
do this again." And the announcer came and was like, "I feel like if someone was disrespected by the way that I did this, let me do it again even better." And he did. Very heel move. I loved it. But everything that he said stuck. And to be honest, Alfredo, this is the second most important like storyline going on right now to me. But the way that John Cena is evolving as a heel, it's starting to be that he will become something even bigger than what he was before. Eventually, he's going to have to turn face, but I am enjoying this heel run. And
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's in, and you can even tell that he's enjoying it. It's so refreshing, and I think that's the issue with the universe, the WWE universe. It's just so refreshing seeing John Cena, the way he insults them, and even if you notice at the end when there was when we are sorry, because it's just no matter what he would say, they will keep on cheering him. Now, I think that will be short lived because then, as we were talking, Randy Orton showed up, and
mhm,
Randy Orton is the best ideal person in this matchup with John Cena because WWE really does not want people cheering for a heel.
yeah,
Heel is supposed to be booed. So Randy Orton is so over with the crowd that I don't feel that the crowd will turn on him. And not only that, the next pay per view in which we had a feeling this was going to happen in Backlash
mhm,
is in Randy Orton's hometown.
yeah, St. Louis.
It's going to be in St. Louis. And I think the crowd will be favoring Randy Orton. He'll be heavy. I think that's where you'll see a real crowd booing John Cena in that matchup. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah,
So,
I expect that match to be awesome. Obviously, I don't expect Randy Orton to win. They were saying that they're besides John Cena at 17 world titles, Randy Orton's at 14, so he isn't that far behind.
yeah,
But do
he
I
is. Yeah,
expect?
that's what we thought. We forgot about it. We
Yeah,
kept on thinking about John Cena, and he kept on saying, "Oh, that I am the real champion." Randy Orton is right behind him, and I think that's what caught his attention, and that's what we're gonna start here because it did feel a little bit random. Why would Randy Orton suddenly attack John Cena? What? And I think because since he kept on saying that I am the real champion, the only one, the only person that could confront John Cena is Randy Orton. He's the one who's been there. They had a long standing rivalry.
yeah,
Guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe. And if you like this episode, continue doing it. So yeah, Pedro. So it's crazy
yeah.
that
It's awesome because think about it. All the old dogs are gone. Triple H gone, Undertaker gone, The Rock gone, Stone Cold Steve Austin gone. Ric Flair gone, Batista gone. Who is going to be the guy that's going to step in to explain why he is the guy and to stand in front of John Cena? It's something that's been happening over the years. Epic rivalries back in the year
yep.
in the old days, and on top of that, a friend of Cody Rhodes, because I don't expect to see Cody Rhodes back for a while. How can we miss you if you don't go away? So he's going to be gone for a little while, and when he does come back, it's going to be epic. But for
Yeah,
now,
yeah, the crowd will be going crazy for him as he deserves. He's been the champion that's been there for us. So I'm
mhm,
really looking forward. I think soon they're gonna start announcing a matchup. I think John Cena will be motivated to fight in this matchup because remember he said he was not going to fight, but I think after what Randy Orton came and attacked him, I think he's going to do it. Um, Another thing that we wanted to talk about, another great Raw is you wanted to mention about Rusev.
yes, yes, Rusev has returned. Now he was in AEW for a little bit, and in AEW he wasn't, in my opinion, utilized to the best of his abilities because when he first appeared in WWE television, he was a monster. He was
Yeah,
destroying people back and forth, and then all of a sudden, him and Lana broke up. There was some kind of weird love triangle with her and Bobby Lashley.
yeah,
It was very weird. But they need to get back to what he was, and that was the
a
Bulgarian
monster.
Brute, a monster, and that's how he was portrayed coming back. And to be honest, we need more monsters in WWE. That there are no more big shows, Canes. That we don't have those kind of
I mean, we
characters
have Braun
anymore.
Strowman, but like Paul Heyman said, Braun Strowman sucks. He didn't even show
Exactly,
up in WrestleMania, so yeah,
exactly.
I
So
agree with you. Rusev is a great addition. Reed Brutus Reed, that whenever he does come back, he was the closest thing to a monster. I would love to see a rivalry between them two. I'm excited to have Rusev in this matchup. I one thing I did wanted to mention as well. What I love was the part with Gunther and Pat McAfee.
yes,
That
I want
was
to bring that up too.
hilarious. Gunther was upset after him losing the title to Jey Uso. He came out to the announce table to tell him again that he tapped out. And you saw Michael Cole tell him, "Yeah, you tapped out." And he
Yeah.
started attacking Michael Cole. And then Pat McAfee got involved. He ended up choking him. And I guess they did it in a way. This is to write off Pat McAfee because he's been working since January when the Raw Netflix starts, and and he needs to have his little break. He has his own podcast, college football. It's still a few months away, but I guess this is the moment for him to write off a little bit and get
Hmm.
a break. So you saw how Gunther attacked him.
Yeah.
Michael Cole. I mean, what do you think about this Gunther?
Well, look, Gunther has been on top of his game for a while. Uh, World Heavyweight Champion. He hasn't lost very many times, so losing is it's somewhat new to him. The last time that we saw Gunther lose was to Cody Rhodes in Saudi Arabia. So it's not something that he's used to. And to lose to somebody like Jey Uso in the way that he did, that he had to tap out, bro, that's
Yeah,
embarrassing, especially in front of the whole world in WrestleMania. So he felt like he needed to get something off his chest, and he did. He was going for Michael Cole, but obviously there is some kind of ring experience with Pat McAfee. Do I expect a program to come out of this? Maybe, but not right now. Like you
yeah. I
said, he
think
needs
they're
to go and do his own thing.
they're just trying to portray him like a monster. So I
Correct.
think that's what they're trying to do. I'm looking forward as well to see that. I mean, Pedro, this new season, I mean, it really got me excited. I'm looking forward to SmackDown. I know in the Barbed Wire Wrestling podcast, we will dissect, most of the major shows that will be going on, any news that'll be happening. We showed up this past weekend. What was your final thought of enjoying WrestleMania? We had tremendous fun. We are looking forward to in this podcast to continue giving you guys content for it and giving our thoughts what might happen and looking forward to it. Right, Pedro?
Yeah, bro. I'm pumped to start this new season of WWE. It's starting to look like it may just be better than last year, and that's saying a lot.
Exactly, man. Guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this episode. Leave a like if you enjoy this video. Also, you can go back to our previous video that we talked about our WrestleMania main event review show. you can go ahead, go through our YouTube channel, and if anything, just like our episode.